listen to this, I need to say something very clearly. If you've ever experienced sleep paralysis, you already know how terrifying it can be. But what nobody tells you, what doctors don't mention, what articles avoid, is that panic makes it worse. And fighting it, that's the biggest mistake you can make. I learned that the hard way, because the night I fought back was the night it stopped pretending. This isn't a story I heard online. This isn't something my friend told me. This happened to me. And even now, I'm not entirely sure it's finished. I used to sleep easily. No nightmares, no night terrors, no insomnia. Sleep was the one place I felt safe. I lived alone in a small apartment, nothing fancy. One bedroom, white walls, street light outside the window that cast a soft orange glow at night. Predictable, comforting. My days were routine. Work, dinner, phone scrolling until my eyes burned. Sleep. That's important to understand. There was nothing wrong with my life when this started. No trauma, no stress, no substances, which is why it took me so long to accept that what was happening wasn't random. The first episode happened quietly. No demon, no shadow, no screaming. I woke up on my back, staring at the ceiling. I immediately knew something was off. My body wouldn't respond. I tried to move my fingers. Nothing. My legs felt glued to the mattress. My chest felt heavy, but not painful, just occupied. I wasn't scared yet. I had heard of sleep paralysis. Stay calm, it'll pass. That's what I told myself. But then I noticed something strange. The room felt sealed, like sound itself had been removed. No hum from the refrigerator, no cars outside, no distant noise at all. Just silence. And then pressure. Not on my chest, on my awareness. Like something had entered the room and immediately knew where I was. I didn't see anything, but my heartbeat changed, slow, uneven. My instincts were reacting to something my eyes couldn't confirm. And that's when I felt it. A shift. As if the rules of the room had quietly changed without asking me. Panic didn't come all at once. It crept in. I tried to breathe deeper. My chest barely moved. I tried to swallow. My throat locked. That's when I made my first mistake. I fought it. I focused everything I had on moving my hand, just one finger. The effort was unbearable. Pain bloomed behind my eyes. The room responded. That's the only word that fits. The walls began to stretch, not visually, perceptually, like my brain was being pulled outward. Then something shifted above me. The air grew heavier, closer, and something settled on my chest. Not crushing, not violent, intimate. Like someone sitting too close on a couch. I felt its weight through my ribs, and then it leaned down. I couldn't see its face clearly. My vision refused to focus, but I knew where it was by the way my fear spiked. That's when it spoke, not with sound, but with certainty. Struggling makes it take longer. The moment those words entered my mind, the panic exploded. My body tried to scream. My jaw opened. Nothing came out. And the thing reacted. The pressure increased, not physically, emotionally, like fear itself was being amplified and reflected back at me. Images flooded my mind. People lying still, eyes open, frozen mid-breath, not dead, paused, held, observed. I realized something horrifying. This wasn't an attack. It was an evaluation. The thing wasn't feeding on fear.
It was measuring response, resistance, compliance, adaptation. I felt it shift closer, and it whispered, "You're still learning." That's when I stopped fighting, not because I was brave, because I was exhausted. The moment I surrendered, truly surrendered, everything changed. The pressure lifted. The room snapped back into place. The thing stepped away, and I could move again. I sat up screaming. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Morning felt unreal, too bright, too loud, but my body felt wrong, delayed, like my movements were half a second behind my thoughts. That night I dreaded sleep, but exhaustion won. The paralysis returned. This time I didn't fight, and it didn't touch me. It stood at a distance, watching. I understood then. It wasn't punishing me. It was learning me. Night after night it came, always during paralysis, always silent, always observing. Until one night, it didn't wait for paralysis. I woke up normally, able to move, able to breathe. I relaxed. Too soon. Because then I felt it. That familiar pressure. Not on my chest, on my attention. Behind me. I froze. Not paralyzed, choosing not to move. And a thought entered my mind that wasn't mine. Good, you remembered. That's when I realized the truth. Sleep paralysis wasn't the event, it was the door, and I had learned how to open it. Now, when I wake up at night, I don't move, I don't breathe deeply, I don't turn around, because I know the difference now between being unable to move and being allowed to. And if you ever wake up feeling watched, ask yourself something. Are you paralyzed, or are you being tested to see if you'll fight?
Before I begin, I need you to understand something. Sleep paralysis isn't always the scary part. It's what comes after. Most people wake up. They move. They breathe. They forget it. I didn't. The first time it happened, I thought it was normal. But the whisper stayed. Soft, patient, watching. Even when I was awake. Even when I turned on lights. Even when I tried to convince myself it was gone. It wasn't. And it never leaves you. If you're alone, listening now, turn down the lights. Put your headphones on, because tonight, you'll feel it too. I live alone in a cramped apartment. One bedroom, small kitchen, street light casting orange rectangles across the floor at night. My life is predictable, safe even. I go to work. I come home. Dinner, phone scrolling, sleep. Nothing unusual, nothing stressful, nothing to trigger this, which is why it was so shocking when it started. The first night, I woke up, eyes open, heart racing, body frozen. I didn't panic yet. I told myself, just a bad dream, you're awake now. But that calm didn't last. Something was in the room. Not visible, not real, not physical, but I knew it was there. A presence, waiting, patient. I tried to move, nothing. I tried to breathe, only shallow, forced breaths. Then I heard it, a whisper. Not in my ears, inside my chest, inside my mind. I'm here. I froze harder. If I blinked, if I moved, I thought it would know. Time slowed. Minutes felt like hours. Each breath a battle. I couldn't see it. I couldn't scream, but I could feel it. Cold, deliberate. knowing everything about me. Night after night it returned, always the same. First the whisper, then the pressure on my chest, then the smell, metallic, wet, rot. The third night it spoke again. You're slow. I froze, heart pounding, my body strained to respond. Nothing. Then the walls began to subtly warp, ceilings stretch higher, corners bent inward, the air thickened like water. I realized it was shaping the room, tailoring reality to see how I would react. I tried resisting, I tried moving, I tried screaming. Each effort only made it closer, each heartbeat only made the room tighter. And the whisper, it grew louder, almost human, almost cruelly amused. You fight like the others. Do you want to stay? By the fifth night, I understood the rules. Rule 1, don't fight. Rule 2, don't look directly at it. Rule 3, don't react. Fail any, and it lingers, fills the room, takes its time. But I couldn't follow the rules. Fear overtook me. I struggled, and I saw its true form, or at least my mind's attempt to comprehend it. A thin, distorted shadow taller than the ceiling, limbs bending the wrong way, eyes that weren't eyes, mouth moving silently, everything fluid, not fully human, not fully smoke, but it was alive, and it leaned closer. Inside my mind it whispered, "You will stay if you fight." The next night, I decided to try something reckless. I fought it. Tried moving fingers, tried screaming, tried even thinking of moving. The room broke. Walls stretched infinitely. Ceiling disappeared. Floor seemed to ripple like water. Then I felt its weight. Not heavy, but intimate. Pressing into every nerve, pressing into my awareness. Every thought slowed, every second stretched into eternity. Then I saw others, people frozen mid-breath, eyes wide, chests barely rising, lying still in rows, like a gallery, waiting. And it leaned closer, its cold whispering voice inside me. You belong if you fight. I woke up screaming, lights on, heart racing. But something didn't leave. The whisper followed me, soft, faint, always behind me. Even at work, even in the street, even in my own apartment. It waits, always, for me to break the rules again. And sometimes I feel it before sleep, watching, testing, patient. I thought surrendering would stop it. It didn't. I lay in bed one night, awake. Paralyzed? No. Free to move. Yet I didn't. Because I knew. The whisper had left a trace. Inside me. Inside my mind. It had crossed the line between sleep and waking. And when I turned my head toward the dark corner of the room, I didn't see it, but I felt it move. And I understood. It doesn't just watch during sleep. It follows, waits, shadows the boundary between reality and dream. You don't wake up from it. You only live with it.
Before this started, my life was normal. No trauma, no depression, no stress. I slept easily. I lived alone in a small apartment, quiet, old, nothing special. One bedroom, thin walls, streetlight outside my window casting a dull orange glow every night. My routine never changed. Work, dinner, endless scrolling on my phone, sleep. That's important, because when this began, there was no reason for it to. The first time it happened, I wasn't afraid. I woke up on my back, staring at the ceiling. Immediately, I knew my body hadn't woken up with me. I tried to move my fingers. Nothing. My legs felt glued to the mattress. My chest felt heavy, but not painful. I remembered reading about sleep paralysis. Stay calm, I told myself. This will pass. The room looked normal. Then I noticed something wrong. There was no sound. Not quiet. Removed. No hum. No distant traffic. No air. And then I felt it. Not touching me. Just present. Somewhere in the room. I didn't look. I already knew where it was. People think fear comes from seeing something. They're wrong. Fear comes from knowing something is close without proof. My heartbeat slowed instead of racing. That terrified me. My instincts were reacting to something my eyes refused to confirm. Then a thought entered my mind. Not a voice, not a sound, a certainty. You noticed faster this time. I didn't understand what that meant, but it did. The next episode came 2 nights later. This time I recognized it instantly. The paralysis, the presence, closer now, standing beside my bed. I didn't panic. I didn't fight. I waited. Minutes passed. It didn't touch me. Then I felt pressure, not on my chest, but on my decision. A thought pressed into my mind. Move if you want it to end. That's when I realized something horrifying. The paralysis wasn't the problem. It was the question. How long could I stay still? After that, time stopped behaving normally. Seconds stretched, minutes folded into each other. Sometimes it felt like hours had passed. Sometimes it felt instant. It began changing positions, by the door, near the window, behind my head, never touching, always waiting. Whenever I moved even slightly, it vanished immediately. And every time it left, I felt disappointment. Not mine, its. One night I made a decision. I would not move, no matter what. The paralysis came, the presence came, and it stayed, longer than ever before. My thoughts started slipping. Memories surfaced, random, personal, buried. It was sorting through me, learning what made me tense. Then it spoke again. Stillness makes you clearer. That's when it leaned closer, not threatening, curious, like a scientist watching a reaction. The final change didn't happen during paralysis. That's the part no one believes. I woke up normally. I could move. I could breathe. Relief hit me. Then I felt it. Behind me. Not pressure. Permission. A thought entered my mind. You don't need paralysis anymore. I didn't turn around. I understood the rule now. Movement wasn't escape. It was invitation. Now, when I wake up at night, I stay still, even though I can move, because I know it's watching how long I wait. And if you're listening to this right now, ask yourself something. Are you frozen? Or are you choosing not to move because something is learning you?